Hello everyone, welcome to Botany Optional channel for UPSC examination. Friends, in today's video lecture, we are going to discuss the two types of leaf which are called as the dorsiventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf. As you know, both of these type of the leaves are often come as a terms across the botany studies because morphologically these two terms denote the two different types of leaves, and to understand these different types of leaf we have to go through which type of the differences are there between the dorsiventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf. So in this video lecture we will go through in detail as a morphological and the anatomical features of the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf, and which type of the feature separates the dorsoventral leaf with that of the isobilateral leaf. So before starting the video, I request you to join our Telegram channel, which is of the same name, that is Botany Optional for UPSC on the Telegram platform. There we regularly upload the video links and the notes relating with the particular topics in the botany, so that you will not miss any update relating with the Botany Optional channel. With that, there are also the membership which are provided by the Botany Optional channel for the UPSC mains preparation for the Botany Optional. These memberships are divided into the 1, 2, and 3 categories. Choose the category according to your viewpoint and start preparing for the Botany Optional for UPSC. So let us begin with the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf. Now let us consider first what is dorsoventral leaf. What do you mean by the dorsoventral leaf? See, when the ventral surface is structurally different from the dorsal side of the leaf, it is called as the dorsoventral leaf. And example for this is the dicot leaf. See, whenever you consider the leaf, if you consider its dorsal side and the ventral side, that is its two sides, ventral sides and the dorsal side. And if you see its dorsal side and the ventral side are quite different from one another, that is they are structurally showing very much differences from the one another with respect to their dorsal and the ventral side. This leaf is termed as a dorsoventral leaf. And this type of leaf, you will always find this type of leaf in the dicotyledonous plant. So dicot plant are the typical examples for the dicot leaf. Okay, so dicotyledonous leaf are those leaves in which its ventral side and the dorsal side are differ structurally from one another. While on the other hand, when you consider the isobilateral leaf, in the isobilateral leaf, its ventral surface is structurally quite similar with the dorsal surface. That is, in the monocot leaf, if you consider the monocot leaf, for example, maize leaf, you will find its dorsal and the ventral side show similarities. And by looking by the naked eyes, you cannot distinguish between its ventral and the dorsal side. So in such a case, the leaf is called as the isobilateral leaf, because the dorsal and the ventral surface are not showing that much differences. So basically, the dorsiventral leaf are those leaf which shows the differences in their ventral and the dorsal surfaces, and the isobilateral leaf are those leaf which shows the similarities between their ventral and the dorsal surfaces. The example for the dorsiventral leaf is the dicot leaf, and the example for the isobilateral leaf is the monocot leaf. Now consider the second difference between the two. In the dorsoventral leaf, the number of the stomata are more on the adaxial epidermis than that of the adaxial epidermis. Now see, it is very important. Now you often have heard that there are the upper epidermis and there are the lower epidermis. Generally, whatever the lower portion is there, the lower portion is considered as the abaxial side. Okay, this is an abaxial side, and the upper portion is considered as an adaxial side. Now consider, whenever you talk about the dorsoventral leaf, the dorsoventral leaf tends to show the more stomata on the abaxial side, that is on the lower side of the leaf. On the lower side of the leaf, there are the more presence of the stomata in the dorsoventral leaf as compared to the upper side, that is the adaxial side. That is, on the adaxial side, you will always find the less number of stomata when you compare them with the abaxial side. But on the other hand, what happens in the isobilateral leaf? In isobilateral leaf, almost equal number of stomata were present on both the side, that is on the abaxial side as well as the adaxial side. So whether it is a lower epidermis or the upper epidermis, it does not matter in the isobilateral leaf. In isobilateral leaf, you will find the stomata of equal number on the adaxial as well as the abaxial side. So very important anatomical difference is there between the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf is that in the dorsoventral leaf you will find the more stomata on the abaxial side, and in the isobilateral leaf you will find the more stomata of equal number, whether it is an adaxial side or at the abaxial side. Now consider the third difference between the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf, that in the dorsoventral leaf, the mesophyll, whatever the mesophyll tissue is present in the leaf, this mesophyll is differentiated into the spongy parenchyma and the palisade parenchyma. While on the other hand, in the isobilateral leaf, you will not find the mesophyll layer to be distinguished between the spongy and the palisade parenchyma. As you may have studied in the anatomical features of the various plants, that the mesophyll is often divided into the spongy parenchyma and the palisade parenchyma. This condition is found in the dorsoventral leaf. But exactly on the opposite side, the isobilateral leaf does not show any differentiation in their mesophyll tissue into the spongy and the palisade parenchyma. So this is the third and the very peculiar type of difference between the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf, is that the mesophyll cells, whatever the mesophyll cells are there, these mesophyll cells are differentiated in the dorsoventral leaf, but these are not differentiated in the isobilateral leaf. Now see, in the dorsoventral leaf, the vascular bundles were quite large and vary in size as per the size of the veins. Okay, whatever the vein size is there, consider this is an dorsoventral leaf, and there is a single big midrib is there in between, and here you will find the sub veins are there. So in the dicot leaf, according to the size of the sizes of the veins or the midrib, the size of the vascular bundle changes. Okay, so vascular bundle size got changed from one place to another place in the dicotyledonous leaf, or say in the dorsoventral leaf, because dorsoventral leaf shows the size of the vascular bundle according to the size of the veins around it. But on the other hand, in the isobilateral leaf, you will find the vascular bundles all are of similar size, and they only the bundles near at the mid vein are large. Okay, whatever the mid vein is there here, you will find the large vascular bundles here, and rest portion you will see isobilateral leaf, you will find majority of the time the vascular bundles are of equal size. Now consider the fifth difference is that in the dorsoventral leaf, you will never find the bulliform cells. As you know, the bulliform cells, you will find these bulliform cells in some of the grasses, right? In monocots. In these grasses, these bulliform cells helps to avoid the loss of water through the evaporation. That is the transpiration. Okay, so these bulliform cells which are typically present in the grasses or the monocot plants, these are not present in the dorsoventral leaf. You will never see the bulliform cells in the dorsoventral leaf. But on the other hand, in the isobilateral leaf, which are typically belongs to the monocot leaf, they shows the presence of bulliform cell. These bulliform cells are act according to the availability of water, and whenever there is a large quantity of water, presence of the large quantity of water, they tends to spread their leaf surfaces in order to photosynthesize, and if they have the fewer water or the water scarcity is there, they starts to curl. Okay, in order to avoid the transpiration. Okay, so this is the fifth difference between the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf. Okay, so whenever you talk about the dorsoventral leaf and the isobilateral leaf, these are the 5 differences which makes them different from one another. Okay, so this is all about this topic. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like this video, share this video with your friends who are studying the botany, and if you haven't subscribed to the Botany Optional channel yet, please subscribe to the Botany Optional channel for UPSC examination. Again, thank you very much for giving your time. See you in the next video lecture. Thank you.